So let's talk about something that so many students feel, but almost nobody wants to admit. That nagging feeling that you're a fraud, that you just don't belong, especially when you're in a new and challenging place like college.
I mean, really, have you ever had that thought? That quiet but super persistent voice in the back of your head whispering that you're not smart enough, not prepared enough, just not enough. If that sounds even a little bit familiar, I promise you, you are so not alone. Wow, I mean, this quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It's that absolute dread of being exposed, that everyone's gonna find out you're not as smart as they think. It's that sinking feeling that your acceptance letter had to have been a mistake. Well, this feeling actually has a name, and just understanding it is the very first step to conquering it. All right, so let's put a name to this enemy, imposter syndrome. Because once we define it, we can start to see it for what it is, not some personal failing, but a really recognizable pattern. And it's one we can absolutely fight back against. So here's the official definition, and this comes straight from the Harvard Business Review. But pay close attention to that last part. It disproportionately affects high-achieving people. Isn't that wild? The feeling of being a total fraud is actually most common among the people who have every single reason to feel confident. It's this bizarre paradox of success.
And just how common are we talking? Well, some studies estimate that around 70% of people will experience this at some point in their lives. 70. Let that sink in for a second. That is not a small group of people. That is a huge silent majority. So the most important thing to remember here is this. If you feel this way, you are in very, very good company.
And this is so important because these feelings don't just pop up out of nowhere. They're often rooted in these really powerful external forces. It could be the crushing weight of family expectations, or maybe it's the cultural messages that have told certain groups, based on race or gender or background, that places like a university campus aren't for them. It's basically baggage that society has handed us, not some flaw in our character.
Okay, so now that we get the what and the why, it is time for a huge, powerful reminder. This next part is all about hammering home a fundamental truth that imposter syndrome desperately wants to steal from you. Seriously, just take a breath and let this one sink in. The admissions office, with its teams of experts and its fancy systems, they chose you. You are not a glitch in the system. You are a critical, essential piece of this whole puzzle. And all those things about your background, your experiences, the things that might make you feel different, those are not weaknesses. No way. They are your greatest assets. They are your superpower. They bring a perspective to the classroom, to every discussion, to the entire campus that literally no one else can. And that is absolutely invaluable. I want you to think, for just a second, about everything it took to get here. The challenges you've already overcome, the perseverance you've already shown, that strength, that grit, you've already proven you have it in spades. And that is the exact same strength that's going to make sure you succeed right now. Okay, so we've reframed our mindset, which is awesome. Knowing you belong is the foundation. But now we need the actual tools, the weapons, if you will, to actively fight back when that nasty voice of doubt starts creeping in. So let's open up the toolkit. Here's the game plan. 5 clear, totally doable strategies. We're going to cover everything from literally rewriting your inner script with affirmations, to getting your thoughts out of your head with journaling, and finding the right people to have in your corner. Let's start with the one that goes right after that voice in your head. First up, affirmations. Look, this is all about actively rewriting your own internal monologue. And I know it might feel a little cheesy or strange at first, but just think of it like this. You're training your brain to build new, more positive pathways. Starting your day with a simple statement of self-worth can completely change the tone. This isn't about pretending challenges don't exist. It's about reminding yourself that your worth has nothing to do with them. Okay, step 2, journaling. It's so simple, but so powerful. When all those feelings of being a fraud are just swirling around in your head, they can feel huge and overwhelming, right? The simple act of writing them down gets them out. It creates distance, and it lets you look at your own thoughts and see just how irrational those fears really are. It's a total cycle breaker. This one is just so crucial, especially in college. The people you surround yourself with have a massive, massive influence on how you see yourself. Your tribe, your people, they should be your cheerleaders, the ones who are genuinely pumped for your wins. If the people around you are dragging you down, well, it's time to find a new tribe. Now, let's just get real for a second about therapy and bust some of these myths. The stigma around it is real, but it is so wrong. Therapy isn't some crisis button you only push when things are falling apart. It's preventative maintenance for your mind. It's like an oil change for your car. It's for clearing out the stress, the anxieties, all that baggage that a lot of the time isn't even yours to carry. And guess what? On most campuses, it's often free, so use it.
And that leads us perfectly to our final tool, actually using your resources. Colleges are packed with support systems, but here's the catch. They can't help you if they don't know you need it. The key is you have to ask. Learning to advocate for yourself is honestly one of the most important skills you'll ever learn. Your struggles are valid, and there are literally people whose entire job is to help you overcome them.
So, with this toolkit in hand, what does the road ahead really look like? Well, it's all about anchoring yourself in one final, undeniable core truth. Please let this be your big takeaway. Your presence makes your campus a better place. You were chosen for a reason. You earned your spot. You belong there, period. Moments of doubt? Yeah, they might still pop up, but now you know they're just that. They're moments. They are not the truth of who you are or what you are capable of. So I'm going to leave you with this question. You have the knowledge now, and you have the tools. Which one will you use first? Are you going to write down an affirmation, look up the counseling center's hours, or maybe just text a friend who always lifts you up? Your journey forward starts with just one single step. I hope you'll make it today.